Chinese authorities raising a lot of questions tonight as they delay the release of key economic data. They were supposed to hand down third quarter growth figures tomorrow, along with September activity indicators such as retail sales and factory output. That's now on hold with no new date set and no explanation. Also delayed trade and home price data. And it's all fueling concerns about the slowdown of Asia's #1 economy. The GDP data for the July to September period had been highly anticipated after China's economy grew just 0.4% in the second quarter from a year earlier. Well, analysts had been expecting some of its weakest quarterly growth figures since 2020, but Chinese officials say there was significant recovery in the third quarter. Well, CNA's Lo Min, she joins us live now from Beijing. Min, what exactly are some possible reasons for the delay?
There is no official reason for why this had happened, and there wasn't a big announcement about it either. The National Bureau of Statistics quietly updated its calendar on its website to reflect this change. And one plausible reason could be that China's sputtering economy could threaten to overshadow the expected coronation of President Xi at the end of the party congress. And it certainly doesn't look very good on him and his administration after President Xi gave himself a glowing report card in his nearly 2-hour-long speech on Sunday at the opening of the party congress. China is widely expected to miss the official growth target of around 5.5% by a wide margin, and that has never happened before. Authorities are working hard to massage that narrative of the state of the economy, saying that there is unexpected shocks to the economy this year. And given that there is a notable rebound in Q3 GDP, they say that this shows that China's zero-COVID strategy and its policy tools used to stabilize the economy had worked. And it also shows the resilience and strength and enormous potential of the Chinese economy. We also know from President Xi's speech on Sunday at the opening of the Congress that he's signaling China's shift away from pursuing absolute growth to high-quality growth. He mentioned that term high-quality growth 8 times in his speech, compared to just once 5 years ago at the 19th Party Congress.
China's zero-COVID strategy has hit the economy and job market hard. Growth plunged to just 0.4% in the second quarter, and consumption remains sluggish despite government efforts to boost consumer confidence. Despite that, a senior official at the National Development and Reform Commission told reporters on Monday morning that the economy had rebounded significantly in the third quarter.
居民消费价格呀，温和上涨，大家都能看到。商品价格的这种实际情况，与全球通胀高企形成了鲜明的对比。我们的就业形势总体是稳定的，我国呢国际收支基本平衡，外汇储备呢保持在3万亿美元以上，等等等等，从多个经济指标来。加总来看，我国呢经济的表现呢依然是突出的。
This despite the fact that many analysts had expected China to struggle to reach its growth target for this year. China's economy is facing its lowest growth in decades. Analysts lowering the growth forecast this year to around 3%, missing the official target of around 5.5% by a wide margin. That's raised the question of whether the period of high economic growth in China is over. Besides being hard hit by the government's strict zero-COVID policy, China is also battling an unprecedented crisis in its real estate sector. Property sales are now falling across the country, leaving many developers struggling. And shortly after Mr. Zhao's upbeat forecast about China's economy on the sidelines of the country's 20th Party Congress, the National Bureau of Statistics announced that the release of China's third quarter growth figures, originally scheduled for Tuesday, will be delayed. It did not specify a reason or timeline for the figures to be released. This comes after customs authorities also delayed the release of September's trade figures last week without providing an explanation. The latest postponement comes as officials gather in Beijing for a meeting set to hand President Xi Jinping a historic third term in power. And at this news conference, these officials gave a shining report card of China's economic performance over the past decade under President Xi. They said these historic achievements are extraordinary in the face of a complex and grim international situation and would not be possible without President Xi's leadership. The officials also said China will not scale back its opening up, despite previous indications that the government would focus on self-sustained growth by relying on domestic consumer spending. And they said China will elevate its competitive edge in strategic sectors, with an emphasis on achieving self-reliance in key areas, echoing President Xi's pledge on Sunday that China will become technologically self-sufficient.
我们在加快实施 制造业核心竞争力提升5年行动计划，在改造提升传统产业、培育发展新兴产业中，打造一批优势长板产业，提升重点领域全产业链的竞争优势。另一方面聚焦国计民生、战略安全 等关键的领域，紧盯卡脖子的薄弱环节，按照接板挂帅、赛马等等一些机制，一体推进短板攻关、迭代应用和生态培育。我们要坚决地打赢关键核心技术的攻坚战。
This comes on the back of a semiconductor blockade that the US has imposed on China, a move that threatens to cripple China's high-tech sector.
So to close the gap between China and the US, there's going to be a very long way to go. But it just seems that it is not just an economic target, but also a political mission. And the coming 5 years will have a very high priority for developing China's indigenous technology.
Lo Minmin, CNA, Beijing.
Analysts are saying that one signal we want to look out for is whether the next premier will continue to set an official growth target for the next year when the legislature convenes in March.
Well, many thanks for that report. Min Min reporting to us live there from Beijing.